That's kind of nice. Getting a little break.
It was very nice. I don't know if I like it better yet, but I think that's just because it's something new and I just have to get used to it.
So take us through the weekend. How many people did you get to fight, and overall kind of grade yourself for return to competition and how it felt?
So there was originally 2 other girls plus me, but then one did not show up. So it was just me and another girl, and I've fought this girl twice before, so I was a little familiar with it. And I forgot the question.
Did you
I was
take
talking-
care
I
of
was talking
business?
too
Did you get
much.
kicked in the head? I don't remember you getting kicked in the head.
I was talking too much.
Yeah. Did you suffer any significant strikes? Or are you feeling
No.
okay today?
I'm good today.
Can the show carry on?
Yeah.
Well, that's good to hear. So take us through the match then. How did it start, and then how did you end it in 2 rounds?
So the first round was, I want to say, a little slower. I was kind of just feeling it out, getting used to it. I won that round by 1 point, and that was a punch. So there wasn't a lot of action in that round, but I did score a punch, and those are harder to score. So that felt nice. And then the second round, it was 7-3, I want to say. And that was a headshot from me and then 2 body shots. And then she had a body shot, and then I touched the ground on one of my kicks because I almost fell. So that took a point from me and gave it to her.
As the coach, Chris, you've been seeing her perform for a long time. That 7-3, that second round, was that a little bit more of what you were expecting to see?
So I went into this very measured because I knew not competing for 3 years would change things. And one thing that I didn't want Natalie to get disappointed on is the fact that she's used to going into a tournament and knocking girls out and annihilating people. And not that she's still not capable of that right now, but she's been on a 3-year layoff. So I didn't want to build it up too much. I was just like, get out there and have fun. We really didn't even talk about the fight a lot at all beforehand because I purposefully did not want to, create more nerves or anxiety for her. So I was a little anxious on my end, but as far as, what to expect from her, she knows how to win. That's one thing that I know about Natalie. She figures a way to win. Sometimes she wins in spectacular fashion and other times not so spectacular. And this was, I would say, in the middle because she suffered a bit cardiovascularly. We could tell that there was a gap there when you haven't competed in 3 years.
Sure.
And, she's not having to push herself the way that we normally do. So this was a nice introduction.
And then for you as a coach, is it right back in the saddle? Or for you, was it like, okay, I got to figure out how to give tips and advice again from the start?
She didn't know this, but I was a fish out of water. I had no idea what was going on. The rule changes were just so drastic. And I just kind of sat there. And the one time that I did use my challenge card as a coach, it was to give her a break because she was dying. She was really struggling cardiovascularly. So I'm like, you can be strategic in how you use that card sometimes. If you see your athlete, struggling a little bit, then give them a break because they got to go to the video and look at it and review it, and that gives her a couple minutes to catch her breath and that kind of thing. So
nice.
He was so confused that when they ended the match at the second round, didn't know why because he didn't know that I won the
They're
first
like trying
round.
to drag him off the mat.
I didn't know she won the first round. That's what threw me off because they had the front-facing TV showing us the score. That was switch sides, and it's usually the other way. So I thought, thank you, I thought the other gal was up and Natalie was down 1 round. So as she's walking back between rounds, I said to her, we got to pick this up. I'm thinking,
Yeah.
I had this sense of urgency, and I had no idea. So we go into the second round, and Natalie, of course, picks it up, and she has a great round. And I'm thinking, she comes back, we need to do this again. And before I could even get that out, they raise her hand. She's the winner, and I'm looking dumbfounded like what just happened. And it reminded me that even as a coach, there's a learning curve. Like to be, the good advocate for your athlete, I got to get out there and figure out what's going on. And we didn't know this until like the day before. Like I asked one of my colleagues, hey, so it's normal to see a couple rule changes, this and that. What's going on? Well, this, and they just kept going. I'm like, oh, wow, that's a lot of stuff. And not just little things, but changing a match from cumulative points to single rounds changes everything because you really go in there if you feel like you have a demonstrable, a skill set over this person, then you go in there saying, I'm just going to make these 2 rounds really count so I don't have to go another 2 minutes. So it was a learning curve for me as well.
Having a coach there, Natalie, is there a lot of advice that is coming in during the actual act of competition, or is it more in between rounds? Does the great value in coaching come in?
So he definitely talks all throughout the round and everything, but half of the time, honestly, I can't hear anything because
Right.
there's just so much, like with the crowd and everything. So he's kind of if I hear him, I'll try to take his advice, but it's usually in between rounds the most.
Do you perform any kind of a weight cut before you go in? Obviously, that's huge in MMA.
Yeah, this time around I didn't. The only weight cut I've ever had to do was maybe like half a pound, 1 pound, just being a little bit over. But this time I fight the minus 62 kilograms category. When I weighed in, I was 59 kilograms. So I was like, oh, I need to eat some, actually.
Right,
Yeah.
and that's why you stopped and got some Burger King, I was told, for
Exactly.
the first time ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how would you rate it? Because I would argue that most kids your age, that's a weekly thing.
Yeah.
So for you to have it for the first time, give me your true opinion.
I had a double Whopper. I feel like I
Great
should have
choice,
just stuck with a regular Whopper because the double was a lot, but I did like the fries a lot. Fries are like how I base places off of. Yeah.
Yeah, who does have your favorite fast food fries?
Wendy's. Wendy's is just my favorite fast food.
Yeah, Wendy's is legit.
It's good.
It hits the spot.
The
It does.
Frosties.
Yeah, I'm glad that your Whopper experience wasn't bad. It
No,
was at least
wasn't
okay.
horrible.
But Chris, you tried the Impossible Whopper,
The Impossible Whopper, yeah, the fake stuff.
and
yeah.
maybe that didn't hit the mark.
So I would equate it to eating. So go to a dumpster. So imagine yourself going to a dumpster.
Okay,
first and
visualization
foremost.
again. Okay,
visualize.
putting myself
And
there.
then just reaching in there and then pulling out the first thing you get and slapping 2 buns on it, and then eat that. That is an Impossible Burger. Yeah.
Seems impossible to get satisfaction. I think you're correct.
Yeah, it was not worth it in any way, shape, or form. Wasted time. I was pressured into it. It was a bullying experience. Yeah,
Well, she kicks pretty hard, so
Yeah.
she can probably bully a lot of people.
yeah, I get that.
Well, outside of the Burger King, I know that you guys also you like to do like sightseeing when you get out to these different cities. You're just outside of Philadelphia, so let's go ahead and run that footage and see what you got into, because this is something that I really like doing too when I do my travels. I always make sure that I at least have a half a day if I'm going to go to a place where I've never been to at least go walk around and see what this town had to offer. And for you guys, it was like being in a time capsule, right? Where they filmed The Blob.
The Blob was filmed in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. And, we found this information out from a really cool gentleman that owned a record shop. Natalie is a vinyl aficionado. She loves vinyls. It's something she's picked up in the last couple of years. I think over COVID is when you started, right? And so whenever we go anywhere, she's like, where's the record shop? And we found 2 downtown Phoenixville. Was amazing. The owner there was like, hey, let me tell you a little bit about this town. The downtown was amazing and unique, but when I found out the movie The Blob was filmed there,
Yeah.
it took it to another level. And I said, look, there are a lot of parallels to Mansfield because we have Shawshank, and this place has got The Blob. And I said, this is cool stuff. So he gave me a really cool history of the downtown. We walked everywhere, checked out some cool spots. We love checking out downtowns wherever we go.
Oh,
it
yeah.
could be in Europe, it could be here, but we find some really cool spots.
So they're similar. Do they have like how we have the Shawshank tour? Do they have like the Blob tour?
Yeah, they have a big thing called the Blob Fest.
Oh.
So it's this huge, and it draws thousands of people from all over the country. They travel to the city, much like, Shawshank has their events every year.
Sure.
And they come in, they have this big party, a big bonfire in the middle of the city, and it's a Blob Fest. It sounds really,
Sounds
really cool.
awesome.
Yeah. I mean, if you've seen the movie, you would really connect.
It's been a long while. I know that I have seen the original, and ironically, of course, our producer was just saying he watched the remake over the weekend, so he was pretty intrigued by seeing that you guys had the opportunity to be in this town. It's just amazing. No matter where you go, there's always something cool.
There's a story.
check out.
There's a story. And if you can find the right person to tell it to you, it's a win.
That's
and,
what it's
and
all
we
about.
did. And we did. So it was great.
So you get the win, Natalie. We see you there. You're holding the gold medal, but just one fight for you. Tell me about maybe where your confidence is now before you went into the tournament. Are you feeling quite a bit better about yourself?
I definitely feel a lot better. I just needed that one push to get back in, I should say. But I definitely feel a lot more confident because we are going to Luxembourg in about 3 weeks. So I'm glad the first tournament that I'm going into was not an international one, because I definitely would have been freaking out. So doing something more local definitely helped a lot.
So you're going to get 3 weeks to prepare for that. Are you guys strategizing already about what that looks like? You have it all tailored out?
Yeah, I've spent a good deal of time figuring out how we can best optimize Natalie's performance with her skill set. And, cardio is our biggest priority right now because she'll likely have more than 2-3 matches. She'll probably compete 4 or 5 matches. So that's going to require a lot of, stamina. So we're really hammering that right now, trying to get her, VO2 max up and her cardio and that kind of thing. And really, as far as strategy and where she's at skill set, I think she didn't lose a lot over 3 years. We just got to, finely tune some things. But I was really impressed how she just turned it back on. I've taken long-term breaks in my competitive career, and I always felt like I lost something, and I didn't see that with her. So I'm very happy that she doesn't have to go in feeling, I used to be able to do this, but I can't now, because that can be very damaging to your confidence.
And you've had some back issues, of course. Did you feel any limitations there, or did it still feel nice and fine?
I feel like once I got the adrenaline going, I wasn't feeling it as much, maybe after just a little bit, but during the match it felt completely fine.
So going into this next competition, I mean, when was the last time you took an L in this sport? It's been years and years, right?
Yeah.
2018?
Yeah.
Yeah,
When we were in,
Colorado.
oh, I thought it was Belgium.
That would have been 2018 as well,
Yeah.
same year. Yeah. So she went, her longest stint was 4 years without losing a single match. And then we caught a gal. Natalie had a broken toe at the time, and we weren't sure if we should put her in. And I said, "What do you want to do?" And of course, she says, "I'll fight around it." And she narrowly lost a match to a very good athlete. And I don't want to take anything away from her, even with a healthy foot. It would have been a tough challenge for Natalie. But that was the last time. So, I expect her to do well moving into the next 6 months. But I'm also realistic in that trying to fast forward, 3 years of a loss in 3 months is very difficult to do.
Sure.
So if we run up against, top 10 in the world, it's going to be a very big uphill battle for Natalie.
So in the meantime, you got to gain some weight, yeah. Is that honestly a top priority to put on a couple more pounds?
Strength training is a big thing for her right now.
Okay, well, I'll be down at the gym. I know you're doing that personal training with people all the time. You're going to get in a few of your own, picking up some big, heavy weights here these next couple of weeks? That's the game plan, huh?
I will try. I'm not much of a lifter. I guess I haven't gotten into the lifting spirit yet, so I might have to have someone introduce me. I know my brother's into it a lot, so he might be the guy I have to get with.
Yeah, Cameron lifted my spirit. I just worked out with him on Friday. I had a really good time. So maybe have Big Bro.
We'll see.
Slap a couple weights on there
Yeah.
for you. Well, guys, I know that you got a busy afternoon here. You got to go pick up some flowers and go serenade some moms, right? Is that correct?
Something like that.
And then there's always something going on
Yeah.
at 4th Street. So
Black Belt Pro Fitness, we always have things happening in the evening for the kids and adults. If you want to come check us out, we'd love to have you. And this is like lovely water. Thank you.
yeah. Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
look at this. It's no wonder.
See, that looks better than the Whopper.
Yeah,
And
a little
it's
more
being
appealing
touched
than the
by a
Impossible
raccoon.
Whopper.
yeah. I see why maybe that raccoon could be into that. But for us human folk,
Yeah.
it just doesn't work out. Chris, Natalie, always a pleasure having you in here, and I look forward to keeping up. Of course, me and Chris kind of on the down low. We got a little thing going on right now. That
Excited.
We're going to be launching here in a couple of months. So actually, before I let you get out of here, I just got to talk real quickly about what we're going to be doing. Lots of different challenges, about 10 days at a time, doing
Yes.
different fitness things, different nutritional things, and day 8 for me of no sugar. And I was already telling you before the show, I didn't realize everything had sugar in it until I started looking at what I was actually eating. So I might be a changed man moving forward here, Chris. We'll see. Or when I get off, I might just fall straight off the wagon into a big old vat of peanut butter and never come out.
I'll be there for you, Brian.
With
I'll
a
be
big
there for
spoon
you.
in hand,
With
I'm
a big
sure.
spoon in hand and to help because, it should never, ever, ever be one person.
Yeah, amen to that. Hey, you always got my back.
Yes, sir.
I do appreciate it.
Thank
All right,
you.
guys, let's get out of here.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Have a great day.
You too. All right, let's go ahead and kind of flip the script here, and you see what Upper Sandusky's been able to do on the baseball diamond this season, and it's truly been extraordinary how they were right on the cusp last year of winning a Northern 10 championship, and then Not only did they win it this year, they did it in undefeated fashion, and they're picking up a couple of big games here in the early portion of this week before they head into tournament play in Division II on Friday night. So we've got their head coach, Jerry Smalley, on the line with me right here and now. So let's go ahead and welcome him in. And, Coach, how's things going out there? Looks like it's a nice sunny day in Shelby for you to compete, yeah? So, Coach, how are things going for you out there?
They're just getting warmed up at the moment, but everything's going pretty good. I mean, we got a few hurt players hoping to get back this week. We'll see what we got to wait for the doctors and trainers. So, but we're looking good. See how it goes tonight. Trying to get some bullpens in, get ready for the tournament.
Well, it's been a phenomenal season, of course, for you guys from start to finish. 22 victories on the campaign for you. So what would you say overwhelmingly has been the winning formula for you and this crew so far this year?
Pitching and defense by far. By far, pitching and defense. Our hitting's showing up sometimes, and we score enough runs to win with our pitching and defense. So we have some arms that have been very well this year. Caden Holman has been outstanding. So I would that pitching and defense is our main thing to win this year.
Yeah, you got to tell me more about this Caden Holman, gentleman, and what he's been doing all season long. 0 earned runs in almost 52 innings of work. Plus, I think the dude's almost hitting 500 from the dish, Coach. So have you ever seen an individual performance quite like what he's been able to do the entire year?
No, not even close. He's 115 strikeouts, no earned runs on the hill. He's a great shortstop. He steals bases, and like you said, he's hitting like 500 on the year. It's an unbelievable season.
Well, you're Northern 10 champions for the first time since 2019, which I think that you were kind of the favorite heading into the season. But how tough was it going undefeated, 14-0? I mean, it's a pretty good league up there near the top, Coach. How'd you go through unblemished?
Really good pitching. We got two. Our number 2 is really good. Our number 3 is really good. So, like I said, pitching got us through this. We had some close games with teams that we probably shouldn't have been that close with. But it's hard to go undefeated in your league when you see these guys 2 times and you see them back-to-back days. It's Tuesday, Wednesday for our league, so you see them back-to-back days, and it's really tough to do what they did this year.
So you're getting some tournament tune-ups in right now. You're out at Shelby, a really quality D2 team. You get to play Clear Fork tomorrow, I believe, on the road. Are these games that you kind of scheduled late in the season on purpose to get some good looks, or how did the schedule all work out for you like this?
Well, the Clear Fork coach put on, we got a email for coaches in the district, and he put one up there for this Tuesday last week, and I was like, I need a game going into our tournament game, and I'm like, they're a good ball club. I want to go get them, and he agreed right away. And then the Shelby game actually was by a miscue. I was emailing the Clear Fork coach back, and Shelby's coach just putting in for a game, and somehow I emailed him back saying I'll be there. So the Shelby game
Anytime,
kind of came.
anyplace, anywhere, huh? Just trying to get some good looks.
Oh yeah, me and my assistant coach, we'll play in a parking lot if we have to. But yeah, and these are 2 quality teams going into the tournament, so that's a good thing for us.
Yeah, no question. I'm glad that you observe it that way, because I think that there could be a counter argument as well, that maybe you don't want to go up against some top quality competition with your guys right before you get into the tournament play. So for you guys more look at this as a benefit, where you're seeing some good teams out there, and then when you get into the playoffs, that you feel like you've been there, you've seen it, and you'll be tested.
Exactly. We need to see the arms. I mean, we're going to see their number 1, number 2 tonight. I know he's doing the same thing we are. we got a pitch count on our pitchers, so mainly bullpens to get ready for the tournament. But they're going to see the 1s and 2s, and and that's what we need to see. We don't need to see coaches' arms at practice, for BP. So this is only going to benefit us, I hope.
So when you head into the tournament and you're ranked number 8 in the entire state, the bar, obviously, it's way up here, Coach. Internally within the team, what are some goals that you are setting for yourselves, though, within the playoffs where you feel like if you hit a particular mark that it'll be a successful campaign in the tournament?
Well, I think district finals, I mean, we're in a pretty good district over here where we're at. There's some really good teams, Wapakoneta, Lima Bath. I mean, they got a dude, I think he's going to Indiana. He's throwing about 90-mile-an-hour left-hander. So, I mean, you run up against them kids, and, they can win at any time. So I feel if we get to the district finals, probably against Wapakoneta, and I think that'd be a good, I mean, we're still a young team, so, I mean, believe me, I'd like to go farther, but I think to make it to Wapakoneta in the district finals would be a good season for us to tournament-wise.
Do you put some pretty big value on the fact that you get to play at home for the sectional championship on Friday?
The only thing is my pitcher's used to that mound, so I think that's a plus. We've been on some mounds this year that the pitchers didn't like, and they were kind of off kilter for a little bit, an inning or two to get used to it. But being on our own home field and having our mound, I feel they'll come, our pitcher will come right out the gate. So that's a plus.
Well, congratulations on an awesome season so far, Coach, and keep it rolling, man. 22 wins, that's good, but I think heading into tournament time, you have about 24 under your belt. The confidence level's just going to keep on soaring, and we'll be out there on Friday to check you out against either Elida or Shawnee, man. So get a dub today, and just keep doing what you guys been doing, Coach.
Appreciate it. We'll see you Friday.
Sounds great. Coach Jerry Smalley of the Upper Sandusky Rams, ranked number 8 in the entire state, so they are going to be a force to be reckoned with. And those numbers are just absolutely ridiculous, what Caden Holman's been doing. I don't know that I've seen a 0.0 ERA for a starter. I remember a few years ago, Brennan Armstrong was coming in relief, and I think that he had similar type of numbers, but not that many innings. So it's crazy what he's been able to do, and definitely expecting the Rams to, like Coach said, at least get to a district championship. I think for them that they would see themselves as having a great season if they can at least get there. Icing on the cake if you can move on to regional, and then, hey, everybody's good at that point in time, so upsets happen. You never know what the Rams could do from that point in the season. But got another guy on the line that's hanging out with a team who's got a lot of potential and feel like they could make a deep tournament run as well. And we expect to see this squad potentially in a district championship game. We've got Travis Big League Berardi. He is out in North Bloomfield Township and hanging out with the Golden Knights, who are getting ready to open up tournament play here, Trav. So for Upper Sandusky and Coach Jerry, I mean, they have 2 tune-up games this week before they have to get into the playoffs. Not for Northmor. They have to get right into it here on a Monday. What would you say is kind of the mood and the atmosphere out there at the castle right now?
Yeah, well, I think it's a very excited squad here at Northmor. They're getting through the warm-ups right now. Pitcher's right in front of me, Trevor Brubaker, going to go on the mound. The freshman, the phenomenal freshman, is going to start the tournament for the Golden Knights, but they're really excited. High C going up against Ridgedale, and, should be a good one for them today.
Yeah, number 3 seed in that D4 Central District, so there's a ton of teams, of course, that are in there, lots and lots. Well, what makes this Northmor team so strong that they were worthy of getting one of those top 4 seeds where they can pretty much pick where they wanted to go on the bracket?
I think it's kind of like Upper Sandusky pitching. You got Baker, the freshman that can go. You have Grant Bentley. They saw, basketball is he's a really good pitcher as well. Can go. So they have 3 really good starters that can get things done.
Well, Coach Smalley, I mean, he didn't really downplay it, but he didn't act like home field advantage was a huge deal for them. Do you feel like Northmor playing in the friendly confines really benefits them, or in tournament play, Trav, is it maybe not as big a deal as we might think?
I think it's a little bit more for Northmor because they play in the Central District, and you can play up at least until a district semifinal if you're the higher seed at your own place. You know, they're at this new beautiful turf that got put in here a couple years ago. You know, they're used to this, and I think it does. I think the home field advantage, especially in the Central District, plays a little bit more into play than maybe some other districts.
You touched already on the great pitching that they have, Youngster and then Bentley. Who are some of the leaders over there in the dugout for Northmor? Some of the seniors and the guys that are keeping the culture strong out there.
Well, actually, I'm going to bring him in right now. One senior leader that he got injured in basketball season, but he's still in his jersey. He's on the bench every game, and it's Max Lauer. And Max, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing. How about you?
Brian's just asking me what were some of the strong points of this baseball team this season?
We look great on defense. You know, we minimize errors. We have long at bats. We have good at bats. You know, make pitchers throw a lot of pitches, and well, it's what we like to do, and we like to hit the ball.
And then I was talking about the pitching. You have Brubaker going today. You have Graham Bentley. You have Drew Hammond. 3 really good pitchers. How good is it to have multiple pitchers, especially in a tournament atmosphere where you need at least 2 starts per week?
It's crucial to a good baseball team. You know, we got a guy who can come out in the first game and they can throw a whole game. They can all throw a whole game apiece, and you know it's great to have great utility. We got other guys who we don't even need to use as much because we got those guys, and it works awesome.
You guys, district runners up last year, lost to Liberty Union, and they, a first round pitcher that went. But that experience, how important was it to get that experience to play in a district championship for a team like this that was kind of young last year?
It was very important. You know, we got a lot of guys a lot of juniors, a lot of sophomores who are playing this year, and that experience last year, just seeing a great pitcher and a great team, you know, it's going to help us out this year.
Any questions for Max, Brian?
Well, being that you've had to change roles this season and you're being a little bit more of a rah-rah guy, a cheerleader and a coach over there on the sideline, what have you learned about yourself having to kind of take on some of those responsibilities?
I've learned that I'm still the same baseball player. I'm just playing from the bench, you know. I'm still saying the same things that guys like on second base and communicating with our guys in the field and in the box and all sorts of stuff like that. And I'm just trying to do the most that I can.
And for this team, you were right on the cusp last year of breaking through, getting on to the regionals. Does this particular team and unit feel like they have even more potential, and maybe even that the bracket lines up a little bit better for you guys to try to make a run again and get out of the district?
Yes, absolutely.
I did notice that Mechanicsburg, the number 5 seed, they kind of came a little bit close and on your territory there. So if you guys get the dub today and they get the win, they're going to be coming over to your place in North Bloomfield Township and trying to play you guys, I believe, on Wednesday. Was that a surprise to you that they didn't think that much of the Golden Knights?
No, it was not a surprise. You know, it's hard to get respect out here in the middle of nowhere and being out with cornfields and stuff like that. But you know, we're going to enter it like we would any other game, and we're just going to play to win.
Is that a big part of what makes Northmor sports successful, is that you guys all kind of adopt that mindset that, hey, nobody respects us. We're literally in the middle of cornfields out here, this beautiful school, and that they don't know us. We know us. Does that fuel pretty much every team out there?
Yes, absolutely. You know, there'll be teams from far, far away, and we know that they don't know us. And even if they do know us, it's better for us to think that they don't know us, and then we have the same mindset every game, same confidence that we have every game to go out and win.
Well, we're looking forward to following you guys throughout the tournament journey. We hope it's a long one, and I'm sure Travis going to get some great shots of you there in the dugout, making an impact as only you can, Max. So we do appreciate the time, man. Thanks for jumping on with us.
Hey, of course. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it every time. You know, I love it. I love it. Live and free, baby.
Hey, my guy, Max Lauer. Well, one of our ultimate junior reporters out there in Northmor for sure, man. We always appreciate you. We're gonna miss you, of course, next year.
All right, I'm gonna miss you too. Don't worry. I'll still be here. I just won't be in the dugout.
Noted.
Noted.
Oh, Max is something else, isn't he? Good guy, really good kid. Like I've said before, I've covered him for 4 years, and he's just a treat to be around and to cover.
Yeah, there's no question about it that there are certain athletes that you just gravitate towards, and they have a little bit extra when it comes to those leadership qualities and just how they present themselves. And he would be right up there in that tier. So what a guy for them to have on the bench over there, Trav, to kind of help Coach Workman with the actual players, because obviously a coach, you can relate to your guys, you know how to deliver the message, but when it's one of your own peers, same age, you grew up with them, and they're also helping deliver that message, I mean, it helps that medicine go down a little bit more, I assume.
Yeah, absolutely. And even the Colonel Crawford game, they're down 7-2 late, and you could still see Max in the dugout, keeping the guys up, and it kind of helped that they ended up beating Colonel Crawford, who's a 1 seed in their own district.
So give me your realistic expectations for Northmor. You never overlook anybody, but assuming they get by Ridgedale, Mechanicsburg's a tough team, but if they can get past that, Travis, is that the expectation, is that they get to districts, and like Max said, maybe this is a regional contender?
Well, always the good thing with the high seed is you'll probably get a lower seed. Ridgedale comes in, they have 9 players on their roster. That's it. So, you can get on them early, you're probably going to get a good win, but even having Trevor Brubaker and the way he's been able to pitch this season, that keeps their number 1 and number 2 pitchers for that game against Mechanicsburg. And then after that, they get the rest because they don't have to play another tournament game until next week. So I really think if they can if they can take care of business today, keep with their number 1 pitcher, then you got Grant Bentley and Drew Hammond ready to go on Wednesday. I think they got a really legit shot of making a run here in this district, and you never know, maybe to a regional as well.
Imagine that, Mr. Northmor predicting big things for the Golden Knights.
Go
no
figure,
surprise
right?
There, Trav. Well, while we got you here, I know that you got a baseball game to get to, but you got about 5 minutes to chit-chat about some softball?
Yeah, I got 5
right.
minutes.
Let's take a look at what went down in the sectionals over this past week and weekend, and we'll show the folks at home how all the brackets are lining up. We'll begin with the D2 Willard District, where, the top dogs, they're not in there anymore, Trav. We all had these big expectations, and could this be the year for Madison to break through, get to that state Final Four? Wow, what an upset that was for them, not winning a single game.
That's why you play the games, even if it's a low one set, what could be maybe a great season. I was looking at the state rankings. There are 41 teams through the 4 divisions, because Division 3 has two teams tied for 10th. So 41 teams that were in the past state rankings, 40 of them won. Only 1 team that was state ranked did not make it to districts, and that's sorrowfully the Madison Lady Rams. That's tough for them. But also, that kind of opens things up for the Ontario Warriors. They are a legit squad that getting as well. Earlier this season's already out of the tournament. They do, you could see maybe if Perkins knocks off Clyde and they take care of it.
Hey, I think you're gonna have to step out of the dugout there, Trav, for us to get a little bit better reception with you. We're starting to lose you, but I couldn't agree more. I think Ontario, they're riding some tremendous win streak right now. They got a ton of confidence. They got a win tonight, but they get to play at home against Vermilion. So we're anticipating that that's going to be the case moving on. But just a one-day turnaround. I almost think that's of value to them to play a tournament game and then waste no time, turn around the very next day and get right back to it, potentially in a matchup with Bellevue.
Yeah, in softball, it's you can have one pitcher go as long as possible. They can throw 150 pitches, and it's not going to hurt their arm. It's just, can you play the good defense? Can you get the timely hitting in a tournament atmosphere? And you know what? It's like they're going to be ready, too. If they get past today, they're right back at it tomorrow. They're fresh. Bellevue hasn't played since last week, so you got to think that they might have the upper hand, and they're used to that Willard surface as well. Bellevue as well. They're always in the districts. I think that'll be a good game, but I think I have Ontario moving on, but the winner of that game is going to be the favorite in the championship.
I tend to agree. Perkins, of course, probably has the best individual talent, maybe, and Kaufman in the field still remaining. But Ontario, they've got a great team from top to bottom, back-to-back MOAC champs for them. All right, let's check out the Division III Central 1 district now. And as we kind of peel the page and take a look at this one, Trav, you see that we've still got Centerburg in there. That's really no surprise. West Jefferson as well, the number 2 seed. Is that kind of the collision course that everybody was anticipating to see in the matchup for the district championship?
Well, you got to think Centerburg, if they win this district, they're going to earn it. North Union and West Jeff, both state ranked. So, if they can continue this magical season they're on, they're going to be battle tested and they'll have a legit shot maybe throughout the regional tournament as well. But they're going to be battle tested here in the next few days, taking on North Union and then probably West Jefferson and that stud of a softball team that they have.
Yeah, definitely it looks like it's going to be a collision course. Centerburg and West Jeff going toe-to-toe for the right to move on to the regionals. But like Trav said, that is why they play the games. We will find out who advances tonight in the semifinal matchups there. In the Division III Shelby District, we've got some nice local flavor in this one. The Clear Fork Lady Colts, man, can they score. They hit it a ton. Over on the other side, Huron's the top seed. Upper's having a great season. Margaretta, they've kind of been a perennial power. So this Final Four right here for the district, this is going to be one heck of a 2-game matchup to watch to see who gets the opportunity to move on.
Yeah, this is a stacked district. Clear Fork down from D2. They knocked off a good Colonel Crawford squad. The question for them is, can they finish games? Pitching Pacey Crestina, she's done phenomenal on the mound, but it seems like the 6th and 7th inning, she starts to wear down a little bit, and that's when Crawford started getting some base runners trying to come back. But that offense that they have, I think they still average about 13, 14 runs a game. So that tells what they can do. And if they can continue to hit the ball, they're going to be tested against Margaretta, who won the district last year. And then on the other side, you got Huron, a power over there. But then Upper Sandusky, they're playing for more than just softball right now, as you know, for their coach. Rest in peace, and our thoughts and prayers out to the Upper Sandusky community. But they're playing for more than just that. And sometimes if a team can rally around, they tend to make runs like that. So it's going to be interesting. A lot of storylines in this district.
And the best part about the whole thing, Trav, is that we're going to have both these games live and free, baby. That's right, on Wednesday over at Shelby. You can watch these from the comfort of your home on Facebook and then our main YouTube channel. Keep it in Division III. Check out the Wellington District now, and you're going to be a part of this thing, checking out the Hillsdale Lady Falcons to see if they can fly their way into the district championship game, and a familiar foe waiting in the wings to take them on. Wayndale with a big upset, the 18 seed, and then over on the other side, Keystone. Man, what a great team that's been for years and years and years. They get matched up with Northwestern. So this is another quality Final Four, but it does seem like Hillsdale versus Keystone probably is the matchup that a lot of folks are circling.
Yeah, I was covering the sectional championship game between Hillsdale and Columbia, and half of the parents coming around saying, Tuslaw lost. We're thinking, how could that be possible that Maslin Tuslaw would lose to the 18 seed in Wayndale? And I guess I heard some rumors that the Wayndale coach was wanting Hillsdale. He said after their loss, because they just played last week in that 2-game series, he said after that, we're going to play them in the districts and we're going to beat them. So, Wayndale coming in with a little bit of momentum, but Hillsdale, they're just a stacked squad. State Final Four last year, only graduated one player from that team. And you're talking about Keystone as well against Hillsdale. They played earlier this season, I think a month ago. Keystone walked off at home 3-2 in the 8th inning. So a lot of good games that could go on here in this district as well.
Yeah, what a rematch there, and you got to love the moxie of the Golden Bears there, predicting the upset. It's one thing to say it, but to go out and execute and get it done, knocking off the 4 seed. So they're hot right now, playing with a lot of momentum. Could be a tough game for the Falcons, though they did take care of them in the regular season. All right, the D4 Galleon District, a.k.a. Firelands Conference South. I mean, my gosh, so much familiarity out there for these teams. Monroeville's going to get Plymouth. New London gets South Central right out of the gates. So this is going to be a fun one, Trav, and all chalk, too. It's not like it was 4 teams that kind of emerged out of here from the same conference. These are 4 schools that they earned their mark in the tournament to get those higher seeds.
Yeah, they're Firelands, top of the Firelands is absolutely stacked, and Phil as well, Plymouth and New London. So these teams know each other. They all played them at least twice this season. So it's gonna be a fun one. And the Firelands Conference is assured of a district champion, which is always good for a conference.
Any bold predictions for me, Trav? You see anybody that's going to fly away with this one?
I don't. I really haven't seen much of the Firelands Conference this year, other than Monroeville able to, knock some squads off. We thought Crestview would go in there and be the favorite to win the conference, but then Monroeville and New London really took it over. So it's anyone's game.
All right, and last but not least, we'll check out the D4 New Regal District, and I believe they are playing tonight. That's right, they are. Hopewell Loudon, the top dog, taking on Mohawk, who they've proven themselves. They have got a track record when they get in the tournament, so just because they're the 4 seed, it doesn't mean they can't go up against the number 1 and get it done. And then the 2 versus the 3, Cary and Calvert. Man, 2 fun matchups there. We've got Justin Wilson on location. We're going to have highlights for both of these games. They're going to be dropping either late tonight or tomorrow. So, again, Trav, we've got the best of the best, the top 4 seeds, all competing for the right to move on to regional, and teams that are used to playing one another. I think they've all kind of crossed paths at one point or another during the regular season.
Yeah, and Hopewell Loudon, they lost to Hillsdale in a regional championship game last year, so they're chomping at the bit. Mohawk, the 4 seed, they lost to I think it was Lincoln View, the team that knocked off Hillsdale in the state Final Four. So they're kind of wanting to get back at it. They got their pitching back as well. And then on the other side, Cary Calvert. That's going to be a fun game, but it's going to be tough. If Mohawk can beat Hopewell Loudon, I think they'll have the momentum to get through it. But you can't count out Calvert. They have some hitters. I think they have a hitter that's going for a state record for homers in a year. I think she has like 19 this season. Wow. So that's crazy. And then Cary, they were competing for a Northern 10 championship. So a lot of good teams in this one as well. It's chalk, but it's deservedly chalk because these teams are great.
Yeah, as mentioned, we're going to have coverage of this, and then whoever moves on and advances, we will have the New Regal Championship game for you as well. But, Trav, you got a game coming up in about 5 minutes, so we'll turn you loose out there at the castle. Enjoy it. I know that you're going to have a lot of fun out there in the Northmor dugout, and just try to keep your emotions in check when you're filming. You can't cheer too much.
I got you. I will. Yeah, Twitter. Get on our Twitter in about 5 minutes because they're about to throw first pitch right now. So I got to go. I'll see you later, Steve.
All right. Till next time, Big League. And hopefully he came equipped and packed with snacks. I know that he went home to West Virginia for the weekend, so I have no doubts that Mama Berardi had him hooked up proper, and he probably got a couple of Tupperwares out with him, sharing with the team right now. He's going to enjoy himself out in North Bloomfield Township, but that's kind of what Travis does. He always has a good time when he goes out to Northmor. And we love having you guys around and just taking in all the videos that we have. And we've got a lot of coverage coming up this week on the OH.Report for our tournament. So I'll give you a little bit of insight right now about what we're thinking about doing. I talked about the games that we have. 3 highlights today. Oh, no, wait, make it 4 because also we've got our newest intern, Madeline. She is out over at Ontario. She's going to put something together for that. It's going to be her first ever highlight. So the kid's a prodigy. Look forward to watching something pretty awesome for that one, taking on Vermilion. And then tomorrow we're going to be back over at Willard, probably going to see Ontario taking on Bellevue. Travis is going to have that Hillsdale-Waynedale matchup. And then our own Hayden Gray is going to be down in Danville. They're taking on Byrne Union in the Central 1 Division 4 District semifinals there. As I mentioned, Upper Sandusky and Huron, Margaretta, Clear Fork, those are going to be live games for you guys from Shelby coming up on Wednesday. And then we'll have coverage of the championship on Friday as well. In the baseball side of things, Ontario and Sandusky, they're going to open up things over at the Big O in the sectional semifinals on Wednesday. And then we'll also have, if Northmor advances tonight, their sectional championship against likely Mechanicsburg also on Wednesday, coverage of that one. If Hillsdale advances, we're going to have the Lady Falcons throughout their entire tournament journey. That would put them playing again on Thursday back at Wellington. The D4 Galleon Championship game, we're going to have that. Colonel Crawford for baseball, they get Mansfield Christian or Buckeye Central in their opener. That's on Thursday for a sectional final. Central Christian or Oberlin playing Hillsdale baseball for a sectional championship. We're going to have that for you too on Thursday, and we don't know about Friday yet. We got to wait and see who wins, but think about all those games, all the coverage, and you get it just in one place right here on the OH Report. So make sure that you give us a follow or a like on the Facebook, on the YouTube. If you're trying to watch the live streams, that's the two places where we're going to have them. All of our games for our live streams during the tournament will be on our main YouTube channel. All right, but we do have some other channels, Channel 1, Channel 2, I believe up through 7, that when we start getting into football, soccer, basketball, certainly, you got to start following those channels as well because the game can be on any different place. But for the highlights, they're on all the platforms, baby. Check out the website. It's a nice little collection. They're properly put. You can check out just your favorite team. You can scope it out by conference, and it's all at OH.Report, nice and clean. We're on the Instagram, the Twitter, and then as mentioned already, the Facebook and the YouTube, and coming soon to TikTok. The plan is that we are going to get some fresh-faced interns coming up for fall sports season. So if that's something that either you're a parent or a grandparent, aunt, uncle, or maybe you're a high school kid out there, it's going to be a junior or senior next year, and you want to be a part of the OH Report, we are going to start recruiting ASAP. We want kids that can not only talk sports a little bit, you can send us some pictures, write some mini stories for us, and we want you out into the action all the time, being a part of your school, having fun, but then sharing us with all of your different media content, and we'll put it out there on our channel. So that's something that we're going to get started coming up in fall sports, so definitely looking forward to that. Make sure that you contact us on any of the social media channels. You can find us anywhere, and we're happy to have that conversation. But for now, I'm just kind of gas bagging at this point. I'm here by myself. I don't have a whole lot to roll off anybody. Well, except for producer Adam. What's up, man? Hey. Oh, and I see an extra hand. Is that Hayden Gray back in the building? It is indeed. Oh, just 3. Yeah, he's got so much going on behind the scenes that Adam had to grow a third arm. And that's probably why he watched the Blob over the weekend. He learned some tips, some tricks about how to more utilize, I don't know, transformation as the human. And again, like I said, I'm just rambling out here, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna shut the laptop, and you can shut me out. I'll see you at a baseball or softball game near you, but for now I gotta get out of here. See you guys next time.
Yeah, I ain't really taking no less. Now they trying to send me that text.